So, you know what you ought to do? You really ought to open up your own business. You would be a fantastic pet groomer. And don't worry about the marketing. All you have to do is come up with a blog or some videos and make sure to do it on a consistent basis. And what you'll do is you'll actually provide information for people free of charge so that you can build up your credibility and gain more customers. Wait a minute. That's a great idea! Hello my friends and welcome to The Simple Sober Life. I am Joshua and I help others make simple changes to create a life of awesome. Welcome my friends, I'm so excited to have you with me. We have got a great topic today, but first, if you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe by hitting that button down in the corner and click that bell when you subscribe so you get notified each time I create a video. Also, I am on all of the socials, Facebook and Instagram primarily. And also, I have got a great weekly blog just to help you out even further. So, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been speaking with someone, talking with someone, giving them some advice about either their relationship or finances or situation at work, and then all of a sudden, it kind of hits you? Wait a minute. That's pretty good advice. I should actually do that. It is so weird that we are so apt to give advice to other people, but we rarely ever take our own advice. It's the strangest thing in the world. And, I was having a conversation with one of the guys at work and, going over some of my background, my education, the different fields that I've been in. I've worked in finance where I helped people manage their finances and plan for the future. I've worked as a personal trainer where I educated people on nutrition and proper muscle building techniques and weight loss goals and things like that. I've worked in business where I've helped other people grow their businesses through digital marketing. So I have a gamut of knowledge about, different things for self-improvement and business improvement and things like that. And we were coming back from break and he posed the question. He's like, so let me ask you, do you ever take your own advice? And as we were walking, I had to stop for a second and I had to think. And I'm like, I do more so now than I used to. I would sit down with people as a financial planner at their dining room table and I would hash out all of their debts and assets, their incomes, and what's going out, bills and things like that. And I would structure a personal plan for them so that they could achieve their financial goals quicker. And I would do the same thing when I worked as a personal trainer. I would find out what their personal physical goals were, and I would hash out a plan and work with them one-on-one to help them achieve those goals. And when I worked in business, I would give all sorts of digital marketing advice about email campaigns, video marketing, social media marketing, blog post marketing, and to help them grow their business online. But rarely did I ever actually stop and think, I should actually take my own advice. Because Lord knows my advice is golden. And I'm sorry, I'm being a little narcissistic there, but no, it's the strangest thing. And so I wanted to dive into a little bit of research about why we have such a problem taking our own advice. And I have come up with, or I've actually investigated and found out a couple of different reasons as to why we don't want to take our own advice. And the very first one, and I believe this is probably the biggest issue with us not taking our own advice, we're too close to the problem. Have you ever been looking for something, say your keys or your cell phone, and you tear the entire house apart? You are looking under cushions, you're opening up the freezer, you are going mad because you can't find your keys or you can't find your cell phone, and then all of a sudden, you realize they're in your hand. We're too close to the problem. We can't see it right in front of us. And so, this is a huge issue. It's so much easier to take an objective view at someone else's life, at someone else's problems, than it is our own. And so if we're able to correct that, then we would actually be able to give ourselves advice and follow it. And I have got a really cool tip for you that I have just discovered on how you can overcome having that problem be too close and actually take a step back and be more objective about it. So stay till the end of the video. Another reason that we have a problem taking our own advice is fear. We are afraid of success. We are afraid of failure. And I have walked that path many times, both of them actually. I was so afraid to take my own advice of starting my own business because I was afraid I would fall flat on my face. Or I was afraid that I would actually succeed and, become the person that I wanted to do or wanted to become. I had never been that person before. It was someone completely unfamiliar to me. And so, it was hard to wrap my head around actually achieving that goal. And then on the other hand, being afraid of failure, we're all, a little bit concerned about what other people think of us. And so when we actually tell other people our goals and things like that, or actually tell them what we're gonna do, we're kind of put up to a different standard of actually achieving it. We don't want to fail in front of other people. And so that fear of failure and that fear of success actually stop us from listening to our own advice of whatever it is, getting out of that broken relationship, saving more money so that we can achieve our financial goals, asking for that raise at work, doing all of those sorts of things. Those fears hold us back and keep us from listening to our own advice. Another thing that keeps us from listening to and following our own advice is believing in our own limitations. Whenever we have a conversation with someone, it's so easy to tell someone else, you can do that. Oh man, you're so smart. You're so creative. There is no limitation to what you can do. When you put your mind to something, you go for it. And, it's so easy for us to be encouraging to other people. But because we have gone through the experiences that we've gone through, and because we have the education that we have, and because, we're temporarily in this financial situation that we're in, or if we were brought up in a financial environment that kind of depleted us of, all the desires that we wanted to have. These things factor in to creating these limiting beliefs about ourselves. And so we kind of create a bubble around ourselves, a shell, a brick wall around ourselves based on these limitations. And because we have that in our mind, we do not take our own advice about starting that business or jumping into that relationship or ending that bad one. We have these limiting beliefs on ourselves, and we allow that to kind of cushion and cradle us from actually moving forward and really achieving the things that we are ultimately capable of doing. Two other things that keep us from listening to our own advice is laziness and stagnation. On the lazy end of it, it's so much easier to take the easy road. We want to get in shape. We want that body that's in Men's Health or in Cosmo or Vogue or whatever, or on TV or movies or whatever, or walking by the swimming pool. We want that body. But what's easier? I don't know about you, but it is way easier for me to kick back on the sofa, pile down a plate of nachos and some pizza and some soda and whatever, than actually get up and go to the gym. Right now I've been struggling with getting over this plateau of losing weight. And it's because I don't want to make the commitment to actually take the next step because I've become lazy. I started doing yoga once in a while, but that's not really kicking it into high gear because it's kind of sporadic and it's not really intense. Great for, waking me up and getting me in the right mindset. This yoga that I've been doing, not so great for jacking myself up. But it's because I'm lazy. By the time I get home, I'm tired after a 10-hour day. And I've always been a morning workout routine guy anyway. And so I have to get up at, I'm already up between 3 and 4 in the morning, so I really have no excuses. But it's so much easier to sit outside with a big cup of coffee and a couple of cigarettes. A lot easier than getting in the car, giving myself the motivation to go to the gym and actually pump iron for an hour and a half before having to go into work. It's easier. It's lazy. People don't want to start a business because, it actually takes work. People don't want to end that toxic relationship because it's easy to be lazy and, just deal with it. The other part of it is stagnation. We have become comfortable. It's easier to be comfortable. And, when we're comfortable, we're not moving forward. And that is what the Simple Sober Life is all about. Continuously moving forward. Just did. Maybe I should take my own advice. Ha! Happens all the time, my friends. Happens all of the time. So I guess talking it out loud really helps you kind of make it click. So I don't know, maybe you should talk to your dog. Maybe you should talk to your partner. Maybe you should talk to a mirror about, the different things that you're having and start giving yourself advice. Which brings me to my very awesome tip on how to start taking advice from yourself. Because let's be honest, no one gives better advice than you. So a study came out of the University of Michigan. And what they did was they separated people into 2 select groups. And then they started asking them questions about relationships, about finances and things like that, and how those people would respond as if they were talking to their best friend. And then in group B, as if they were talking to themselves. And it was completely different, the advice about what was given. The people given their advice to their best friends, really had I think it was a 35% improvement or something as to where group B hardly had any improvement at all. And what they found through the study, because what they did was they switched the two groups and they had them change the pronouns. And this is the basis of the best friend, I think it's a best friend tip or something like that, is what has derived from it. So instead of saying, I should save more money, I should take a little bit out of my paycheck every week and I should put it in the bank, or I really should talk to him about how I'm feeling, or I should, start a business. Maybe I should actually get on the computer and do some email marketing. Change the pronoun. Change the pronoun to third person rather than first person. So instead of saying, I should take a little bit out of my paycheck each week and save it, use the pronoun he or she. So he should take a little bit of money out of his account, out of his check every single week and put it away. Has a different ring to it, doesn't it? Sounds a little bit different, doesn't it? She really should talk to her boyfriend about how she's feeling. If she's feeling oppressed, if she's feeling neglected, then she should really talk to her boyfriend about that. How different does that sound than, I really should talk to my boyfriend about how I'm feeling. I'm feeling oppressed. I'm feeling a little neglected. I really should talk to him. She should talk to him. She should talk. It just sounds, it feels different when you're saying it. And it almost gives you kind of a motivation to relate to whoever you're speaking about. And it kind of it creates some neurons in your brain that I can feel my brain kind of just tingling a little bit just by changing that little word, that little pronoun. Instead of saying I, he or she should do whatever. Try it. I would be really, really interested in what your experience is with this experiment. So take just a small little piece of advice that you would like to start taking for yourself. Money, business, finance, spirituality, relationships, whatever the case. And just change that pronoun from I to he or she. I would love to hear your results and see how far you've gotten just by that little change. Now, here is a bonus for you, my friends. I have created a 5-part video series. It's called the Life of Awesome Change Series. And what it will do is it will help you conquer the other things keeping you from listening to your own advice. So those fears, I've got a special video dedicated to how to conquer any fear right here in this 5-part video series. Your limiting beliefs, forget about them. This 5-part video series is going to knock those out of the park and destroy them. Laziness, stagnation, you won't be lazy or stagnant after watching this 5-part video series. Make sure to click on that little card, and I'll also link it down below for the Life of Awesome Change series. My friends, I hope you got value out of this. I really had an inspiring moment during the filming of this, and I am actually going to start taking my own advice about the gym. Yes, he needs to go to the gym. He should go to the gym. He would feel a lot better if he went to the gym. Okay, changing my pronouns. Anyway, my friends, comment down below with the results of that experiment. Give this video a big old thumbs up and subscribe. Hit that bell when you subscribe so you get notified each time I create a video. And until next time, my friends, cheers.